So, welcome to Northern Powerhouses, our business success stories series of interviews, where we discuss with local business leaders their backgrounds, their successes, their challenges, and what's really driving them forwards. And this afternoon, I'm delighted that we have back with us Tim Spakouskas, who's managing director at Yorkshire Heart Vineyard and Brewery. And so, Tim, thank you so much for coming back. It's been well over a year since we last spoke, and perhaps firstly, you could introduce yourself and your business, what you do, how you help people. That would be wonderful.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Yeah, my name's Tim Spakouskas. Like I said, I'm the managing director of Yorkshire Heart Vineyard and Brewery. We're based at Nun Monkton, just between York and Harrogate. We're a family-run vineyard and brewery. So we vineyard vines to produce grapes to make wine in our winery every year. We also have a micro-brewery where we produce a great range of real ales, craft beers, real ales, whatever people hopefully enjoy drinking. We also do quite a lot of tours and events and things at the vineyard and the brewery, do tours and tastings and quite a lot of tourism and hospitality work there. We have a campsite and things like that and a cafe on site. So we keep busy with lots of different things going on all the time. So there's never really a dull moment.
Brilliant. Well, look, as I think I probably told you before, I'm not that far away. Are your tours and stuff all year, or are they seasonal?
Yeah, we do them all year round. It is better to come. I always think it's better to come in summertime when the vines are in full growth and there's fruit there. You can see the fruit set and it's growing. But we do them all year round. Last year, towards the end of the year, October time, we invested in a new, it's called an Arctic cabin, which is a barbecue cabin that can seat about 18 people. So we invested in that to make the winter wine tastings a bit more cozy, a bit more intimate. So we had to get the fire pit going and get sort of up to 16 to 18 people sat around with a few different wines to try and a chat about the vineyard and the history and a bit of wine tasting and things. So yeah, that's worked really well this winter for us. It's sort of improved our offering for winter time for strengthening people coming through all year round. So it's worked really well.
Oh, that sounds lovely. Yeah, no, that sounds really cool. We'll definitely pop over and so obviously just looking back over this last year or so, what looking back, what are some of the key issues and challenges that you've had to overcome over this last?
Yeah, we've had quite a big year last year in 2025 in lots of ways, ups and downs. Early April last year, I very sadly lost my dad. He played a key part in the business. He's still heavily involved in the business, in running the vineyard and the winery side of things. He passed away suddenly and very unexpectedly, which was a massive shock for us all. So we had to build from there really. It was a rough start to the year, but then like I say, we had just a busy year. We planted 4,000 new vines, which now takes our vineyard up to about 30,000 vines over about 18 acres. So wow. They're planted and doing very well. We got the new winery building we started. We got that finished in time for harvest last year. Harvest last year was our biggest and best harvest we've ever had due to the great weather we had in spring and right through summer. So it was a big shock to a big rough start to the year, but lots of positives for the rest of the year. And looking forward to this 2026 and what's going to happen this year hopefully we get a repeat summer of last year. Spring and summer would be, if we get a similar spring and summer to last year, it'd be great. It'll just really sort of boost our wine stocks and get us back up to a good. 2024 was a really poor year for vines right across the UK. We didn't get a massive harvest, and the quality was all right, but the quantity was very poor. So our wine stocks we had building up nicely got absolutely hammered on the back of that. So now hopefully get a couple of good years now, last year and this year and year after. Hopefully good years we can build stock up again to really sort of push the wine sales again to more people.
Brilliant. And I mean, how sensitive are the vines to different weather conditions?
They are quite strong, hardy plants. To be fair, they are the biggest challenge we have is late spring frost in sort of end of April into May, because the vines now. We're in the middle of March, and they're starting to show signs of spring. The buds are starting to swell a little bit. As we've just finished off the winter pruning now, and the sap starting to drip from as we cut the pruning, the sap starting to drip a bit. So they're showing signs of coming to life for the coming year. And next couple of weeks, the buds will start to swell more. By the end of March into April, they'll start to burst open, and if you get frost, then that can do a lot of damage. So so that's the key stage. and then after that, we just need nice, just decent weather. Really, don't need a lot of hot sunshine. I just need decent. A good British spring and summer is enough for us, really. So 2024 was a bad year. Just whatever could go wrong at crucial stages did do. It's just one of those years that nothing went right in the growing season. So it's so it's a rough one, that one.
Well, I mean, we were talking briefly before we started about spring, and I personally love springtime as a time. I guess it's even special for you, looking for the buds to start to break out from the vines and know that you're starting your season.
It is, yeah. It's really exciting. Once the vines start to get growing, the buds start to swell and burst and get going. It's quite an impressive sight to see. And we do have a few sleepless nights from about mid-April to about mid-May, while there's a risk of a frost. But even though we do try and prevent them. We do try and do some work to give the vines a boost when there's a frost coming in, but. Not really much more you can do other than lie in bed at night worrying about it.
And it just brings to mind, I'm lucky enough to spend a couple of winters in British Columbia in Canada. And I know the Okanagan Valley there, they have what they call the ice wine, which I think is the flip side of leaving the vines, the grapes on the vines through into winter time, and they actually freeze. I think, if that's right. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but
it is. Yeah. Leave them for late harvest. So they leave them on to freeze. And quite a lot of people ask us, "Oh, do you make ice wine in Yorkshire?" No, it's cold, but it's not that cold.
No, that's the thing, isn't it? It's not that cold. It feels like it sometimes, but it's not really. And I get, obviously from a business perspective, what any sort of new learnings you've had over this last year about business in general? Has anything happened that you say, well, that worked really well, or that didn't, or anything that you can share on that front?
We're fairly sort of consistent with what we do and how we do things in the vineyard, the brewery side of things, and the tourism. We had a good year last year again with the tours, especially the summer tours. Pretty much fully booked up quite early on. So we knew we had regular customers coming through. Our events we put on outside of the tours, we do a big music festival every year. We're expanding that a bit more this year by adding in a country music festival. That seems to be the big thing at the moment. So we're going to add a country music festival into our program this year, things like that. So it's we're always looking for new things to do that we can maybe sort of just try and attract some new people to the vineyard to come and experience what we do and enjoy it.
That's great.
We're hosting this year. We're hosting the great. I mean, we set it up here 2 years ago now, but it's called the Great Yorkshire Wine and Fizz Festival. So that's back at our vineyard this summer, 27th or 20th, last Saturday in June anyway. Can't remember which date it is, 25th or 27th. But so we've got 12 Yorkshire vineyards all coming to our vineyard for the day. It's like an open tasting session, so you get to on then cheap, £30 a ticket. You get a glass as you come in. You get to around for 1 till 3. You get to around the different vineyards, trying the different wines.
Brilliant.
There's an open tasting session. Then after that, there's live music, food, and things all afternoon till 9 at night, and the bars are open for you to buy your favourite wines. Things like that. So it's just looking for new ways that we can always. How as ourselves, but as a group of Yorkshire vineyards, how we can sort of really try and attract people to come and try and taste and experience what we're doing in Yorkshire and how good wines and beers we are making in Yorkshire.
Brilliant! Oh, that sounds amazing. I must get sorted on that. And I was just thinking, I've been lucky enough to work with the guys over at Shepherd's Purse Cheeses many years ago.
Oh yeah.
And do you have collaborations with food organisations as well? They're a big family business.
Yeah, a little bit. And I did do an event with Shepherd's Purse Cheese. I can't remember the lady's name now. The daughter who runs it nowadays. Can't remember her name.
There's Caroline and Katie are the two daughters.
Yeah, I did an event at Fodder at Harrogate with them one night. They were doing the cheese, we were doing the wine, and it was a really good night. And we did chat then about, wow, we must do some events, some collaborations together. It's never happened since, but it's things we do keep looking at doing. But yeah, it's just finding time to do these things, and amongst everything else we're doing already, it's just finding time to do these things and organize extra things and stuff like that. So it's just
No,
One day.
yeah, no, I was just interesting. It just came to mind because they're a family business
Yeah,
as you are. So it's yeah, and again, an organisation that brought a relatively new product to the marketplace in terms of Yorkshire cheeses, I guess,
yeah, yeah.
in many ways. And you probably remember from last time. I love to collect any favourite quotes or sayings about business or life in general. Is there any come to mind for you?
No, not tough. We are launching a new wine very soon in memory of my dad, and he had a bit of a saying. He used to say, "Tradition is just an experiment that worked." So that's going on the label of his wine. So it's a tradition is just an experiment that worked. So that's the tagline for his wine we're doing for him. So that's one of his favourite sayings.
I like
So
that. I'll get a ponder on that one after the interview. Yeah, tradition is just because it's true, isn't it? We do the stuff that works, keep doing it, and
yeah, it becomes a tradition. Yeah, yeah.
absolutely. And Tim, we have an expression in Action Coach about a true business, and it's an interesting one. Especially, I'm interested to know your thoughts, especially as it relates to a family business, because the definition of a business that we have is a commercial profitable enterprise that works without its owners. I'm going to say can work without its owners, but I guess that's your thoughts about that in general. Is that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if our business could work without us, the
No.
family doing it. Because like all family businesses, we all put in way more hours than maybe
Yes.
we should, and yeah,
Yes.
we never switch off. We never even though we go home from work, we never sort of switch off from work. Well, I don't anyway. But yeah, I don't think our business could survive, could run without the people like my mum, who's still heavily involved in the business, Gillian, myself, my wife, my son, and my daughter. We all play a massive part in pushing the business forward all the time. So we don't, like we always say, we love the business. We love doing what we do.
Yes.
We don't suppose we're ever going to be massively wealthy out of it, but we enjoy doing it. So that's why we do it. We have a good team. We employ some really good people that have been with us for a number of years now. So we really enjoy the like a lot of so I'm from a farming background. It's more of a way of life than a business sometimes. As long as we can all survive and all have a roof over our heads and food on the table, we're all happy, sort of thing. So it's
it makes perfect sense. I guess it's a combination of two things. Family businesses and it's clearly a passion for you and your family. So it's like that's a different thing, isn't it? When it's a passion, it's sort of as I think the phrase is. I think there's a great phrase. If you absolutely love what you do, you'll never do another day's work in your life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I can imagine that's exactly where you are. Brilliant. So looking forward then, obviously, hopefully you have a great summer and harvest. What in general, on other fronts, what does the future look like for you guys, and what other things should we be looking out for?
I mean, hopefully this year we'll on the back of last year's harvest being really good. We should hopefully be launching a couple of new wines this year, at least two new wines. Just rather than making some of the varieties that we grow, we don't get massive amounts of grapes off them. But last year we did get enough to make them into single varietal. Rather than making it into a blend straight away, we made it into single varietal wines. So hopefully we'll launch a couple of new wines, at least two new wines this year. On the back of that, I mean, there'll be a third wine that's coming out in memory of my dad. But that's one. It's a vintage sparkling white wine, so it's nothing. We're planning a vintage sparkling wine anyway, because we have to lay it down for at least 3 years in a bottle to be a vintage sparkling. So we're planning this vintage sparkling before my dad passed away. We just thought it'd be quite a fitting tribute to name it after him, really. So that's what we're doing, and hopefully that should be out in the next month. All being well, we'll have that ready to go. So some new wines coming out. I mean, at the brewery, we do a range of special beers every year. A monthly special every month of the year. So that's all ongoing. So we keep bringing new beers out there. We have our good regular core range, but we keep bringing specials out of the brewery and things. So yeah, there's always something new to look out for, all being well, and hopefully some new events coming up as well that we can try and attract people to the vineyard to come visit us and enjoy the time with us.
And is it very much something we can drop in to see, or do we need to make appointments or any?
No, we have the cafe shop open. At the moment, we're open 5 days a week, Tuesday through till Saturday. From Easter, which is very soon, we start opening Sundays at Easter right through the summer. So we're open 6 days a week. You can just pop into the shopping cafe while it's open. Tours and events, we generally like to have them pre-booked. But if someone turned up on a Saturday and said, "Oh, can I do a wine tasting with you today?" We're like, "Yeah, of course you can." I always say yes. I never turn anyone away. I get told off, but I don't know.
Absolutely brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Well, look, it's been great to talk again, and it'd be great just to keep posted on things that are happening, and please keep us posted, and we'll make sure
Yeah.
we post anything that we get from you. And just a reminder for everybody that like to get in touch or visit. What's the best way of finding more information about you and the Vineyard and Brewery?
So we have just launched a couple of weeks ago. Launched a new website with a new website built and launched. So that's Yorkshire. Just look up yorkshireheart.com. Should be able to find all the information of any events and tours and tastings we do, and cafe opening times and things on there. Or you can just give us a ring on 01423 330716, and we'll try and accommodate people as best we can.
Brilliant, brilliant. Well, Tim, again, thank you again for spending a bit of time with us, and we wish you all the best. It's great that you're representing, what is I know it's not a new industry. I know you corrected me. I think last time when I suggested it was, but a developing and growing industry in Yorkshire, and
Yeah.
we really celebrate what you're doing. And again, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me, Chris. Good to chat again.
Yeah, thank you.